Alright, so what's up? Tay, grabe kay ka-hyper no. What's up? Para feeling good yun kayong vlogger. But anyways, just want gusto ko mahimo nga hyper for my last, probably my last, okay? My last discussion with you guys. So, the department chairman has already assigned two instructors nga tagaan ako sa akong mga sections, which are SEA ARC section 1A, B, C, D. So tagduduha ka section sa isa ka instructor. So actually kaila ra din ako ang mga instructor no, and actually kuan pod kanang mga former classmates na ko way back on college days. So I think you guys are on the safe hands. I am confidently sure na mga bright kina nga mga instructor mo tudlo po na sila, okay? Niya kana pud sila kapanarbaho na sila sa DP currently. Okay, so siguro wa may mingawon sa ko for sure. Kaya knowing sa bago lang nato na human yung first quiz. Okay, sa atong bago lang na human na first quiz, I think pila ko walay mingawon sa ko. Anyways, okay, so much for that. I just want to kumusta muna. No, kumusta man mo? Kumusta man inyong first quiz? Okay? Kumusta man? How was it? Diba, anak ko sa inyo, simple lang, no? So, the last minute, no, there was some clarification made by Section B. I think Section B ba to? Kung ako na sa'yo. Okay, about sa combination of functions, they clarified about the getting of domain of that certain function. Well, they were right, no? Nalimtan na to. Siguro na disregard lang ako to, thinking that both are equal 1, no? Pero actually sakto to, okay? Tulo ka book yun. Anyways, ako lang nag-clarify nga sakto mo, no? At least na-inform ko. But again, if you have clarifications, no, don't hesitate. Especially kung lahi naman yung new instructor. As much as possible, kung na may clarification, especially kung feel ninyo nga sakto din mo. No, lahi ra bagay ng estudyante ang sakto, no? Usahay maulaw ta og kuan, maulaw ta og approach sa ato instructor. Kay usahay ra magud malikbat ta ra magid pa na siya. Di pa to malikayan no nga nagitay mga apan gid, nagi-apan ng instructor, no? Especially we're just part-timers. We're having not just probably, no, depende sa instructor, no? Dili na siguro duha ra ka job. Basig tulo at kabalo, diba? Because they're working hard. But as long na they are doing their responsibility as an instructor, I think there's nothing wrong about it, man. Anyways, though, again, it's your job to ask in advance or probably after the discussion. Kasi kung inato na mag-apiki na kayo sa inyong mangutana during nasa quiz, I have mo mag-clarify. The tendency is that what you have studied, no, mo na yung ma-imply sa inyong pag-solve. Like, yung mindset ni mo, mali dito, no? Nya imong gitukan kay sakto dito. So, sakto na gid ang imong kikuan. Sa iwo mo imong i-clarify daan. So, mas maayo, no, I suggest everyone not to be hesitant. Okay? As long na it makes sense naman yung mga concerns nyo. It makes sense naman yung mga pangutana niyo. Not unless, no, kung ang inyong mga pangutana is nganong inani nga kanang like it's kinda common sense na rin. No? Especially kung it's all about the previous past subjects ninyo, giunsa ni algebra anin, no? Kana siya medyo hesitant kana makasabot kong hesitant mo mga tana kay you are expected to know those things, but things like about the subject or the topic that was just discussed, no, I think it's okay for you to ask. Okay, so I haven't checked pag yun basin ugma siro magsugod, no, in a busy good. I haven't checked your papers. Probably I will be checking starting tomorrow. Then I will announce kung it's kung pilay na kapasar. Siguro, I don't know. Mag-chat ko sa GC, update lang ko. And I am hoping na nagi naka-perfect. At least man lang isa kada section, no? Kasi if you really, okay, if you really watched the videos that I uploaded, okay, that I recorded, I think grabe ragi kay ka-similar ang tanan sa akong mga example, no? I let it slide lang ang mga inana, no? Kay nga naman, I know in myself nga dili nga po ko magdugay anig handle nga subject. But still, no, as I have observed, no, daghan gyapon gyud kalisod. I don't know your reasons. Either you just watch the video, you did not understand it. Mo na siya ang mathematics, kailangan pagsabot. Kailangan jud ka mo sabot. Kung kailangan nimo balik-balik kon og tan-aw para makasabot ka, balik-balik ka. Kaya mga tao nga dili makasabot sa isa ka storyahan, isa ka dunggan, no? Isa lang ka tan-awan. Tinod na siya. Dili na siya sa inyo lang estudyante bisan sa kanang mga gapanarbaho na. But somehow they've learned how to cope with it, no? How to cope with their weaknesses. So makita man gud ako sa akong Gmail, no, nga uy, ay ha pa man ni nag submit, no, attendance basic ay ha pa po na nag-watch for sure, no. I didn't even beg you to follow or subscribe my YouTube account because in the first place that was not my own YouTube account. That was gigamit na ko ng email is sa school. So in short, sa school purposes na siya, no? Actually daghan na kay ko videos gi-upload, ako lang gipang-hide. No? Ako lang gipang-hide. Kaya nga naman para siguro magamit ako po. Wala man pud ko ingon nga kapangwartaan na, no? Singo na inyong mindset nga mo din na siguro si Sir gina YouTube niya. So I don't care, no? Kung ina na ingon basta kaya nga ako I just want to share knowledge. But feel na ako, no? Ang lang kung dili ka maiguan ni ay nag-comment, no? Ay nag-react. Kaya syempre di man di ka maiguan ni. Pero kung isa ka ani sa kanang ay hara mag-watch nga during na sa quiz, no? It's your loss, okay? It's your loss, of course. Kasi integral differential calculus again kung dili gid siya sayon. Moingon lang ko sayon tungod tinatudlo na unta nako. And most likely, yung sample problem and my quizzes are almost similar. Mora nga method, common denominator. Kuha ang common denominator, i-multiply sa numerator and denominator. Tapos kuha ano po yung conjugate, i-multiply sa numerator and denominator. Ano din to? Diba? Ang uban, diretso ra og kuan. Diretso ra substitute. Munta ko na initial nakita, ha? So, syempre, sa kuha nga part, no? Mag-wonder ko if you really watch the whole or at least you understand the whole video. Okay, so again, it's up to you. You're still young, no? First year pa mo. Pero if you continue that character or that trait as a student, no? I don't know if you'll survive. Okay? So let this be a reminder to everyone that as a student, no? Dili lang ta makapasar sa pagpaminaw lang, sa paglingkod-lingkod lang. But most likely mo pasar kita tungod sa to pagpaningkamot sa pagtuon. Okay, we have to balance our time. Again, you have 10 subjects, I know, but unfortunately, we have this subject that is very compressed pagid, no? Compressed pagid ang differential and integral. So, it's not our fault. It's not your fault also. But I think the Department of the Architecture has purpose, no? Ano inana? It's not just because they want to kana bitaw mamagsak, mantagat ng mga estudyante. It's not just that. They want to build or they want to produce quality students, quality architects. Okay? Kaingon din nga, uy, dirinig ka no USTP. Wow. No, ana lang na siya. Okay, so sa kuha po nga part, no, I don't accept, no, by the way, this is also to clarify. This is just not for me, but also for you. Kasi ganito na rin ang ginagawa ng mga ibang instructor, no? Kasi we have online class and what do we call this? Face to face, right? So the tendency is tag-as kaya mong ginahatag nga time magpasa og assignment or seat work probably, no? Ang uban, ang sige ginabuhat na late og pasag kuan. Siguro wala ko kabalog kitsa man na sa inyo. Pero again, I will not accept late assignments, no? With regards to ba sa wala naka-quiz, na ay nag-PM sa kuha, she showed her medical certificate, no? Online man gud daw to. So I will let her give another chance, no? Or I will let her take the exam. Pero parang I don't know what to do with that kasi parang next week wala na ko. So ako lang i-inform ang inyong new instructor. Of course though, I will be adding them sa once they finalized, I will be adding them to the GC before I will leave. So as to the Google Classroom kasi ako po i-submit so as the class record. Since naka first quiz naman ta na naman assignment, ako na pa na-submit. Kay basi ba kayo mga magotro na pud mi kuha na ni sir sa quiz do. Sa inyo nakuha ato, ako ra po na i-submit sa iya. Muna na yung grado sa quiz 1. Mag-quiz 2 na din siya kung depende ka sa, diba? Alright, so tas-tas ako chika, no? Because sa ilo ako ninyo, kaya mo nagid siya. Mo nagid ko, mo nagid po siguro niya itong last, okay? So I'm just kind of sad kasi I'm partly kana bitang sana sentimental in terms of teaching, in terms of instructing, no? Being a part-time instructor is very para sa ko sentimental kasi ganahan gid ko actually, but the company that I was working is requiring me to leave sa part-time instructor kasi mabisi gid ko. Sa ko na lang po not to make conflict in the future without soon. Di ko maka-conflict sa akong pagiging part-time instructor and as a part-time instructor and as probably project engineer. So di na po ko mo sacrifice like there is a saying, no, actually this is also biblical if you are a Christian, so you cannot serve two masters at a time. So hindi gid ko pwede gid, no? Sa uban they manage to have two jobs though because of the workload kasi dili man ina nakahago ilang mga trabaho, no? Prangkahay lang, sorry, diba? Kung hago kayo mong trabaho nga na magunaw pa mag part-time ay kakapoy ra ako pasrehan kapoy eh. Pero sa ko na kaya maguna ko muna nahimo ko part-time, pero karon giingna nagig ko daan nga marag nado sila yung mga kauban sa unang part-timer po, instructor, professor. Okay, so grabe na akong chika, no? I'm just trying to connect with you guys na inanagit ang life. Sometimes you have to sacrifice, no? Something, you have to give up something in order for you to achieve more. Okay? So, good luck to you. Char, nag-goodbye na ko. Pagani ko ka-klase. Anyways, unya na lang ng good luck. Wala na good luck. Taas na kayo. Wait lang. Nagsugod na ba record? Okay, it was already 13-14 minutes left. Chika. Anyways, you can just skip that part. Let's proceed already with our discussion. Derivatives. Alright, so our discussion for today is about module 4. Again, no, wala ta nag-module 2 ni ambak tag module 3 ni nag-asa ko sa GC. Sir, walay module 2. Na, wadyo ko nito bag. Kaya nga naman, gi-announce na nako sa last na klase. Ano ni ambak ta. Anyway, module 4 is all about the derivatives. As you can see, no, the derivatives itself has a very large the derivatives itself is a very large topic, no? Tako gina kung tan-aw pa mo sa akong libro dito, Ron Larson, grabe kina siya ka taas nga topic, daghan kina siya na cover nga topic, but as you can see, apat lang yung itatakol natin. Yung important itatakol. Kasi ito yung inilagay sa sa syllabus chart. Tagalog na ko. Mo bitaw gid siya ang gibutang. So musunod lang sad mi. Pero kung ako pa unta gyud ang mopadayon until sa mahumantaan ni, ako ning dungag-dungagan no. Ako ning pang-insertan, which is I can think that this is very crucial and very important, significant to know for the students. Okay? Anyways, the topic that we will be discussing is about the notion of a derivative. I don't know why is it the notion of it of a derivative is the first always. Kasi same goes with the limits. Kaya una ang notion of the derivative, but of course, una mga dapat ang definition. Anyways, dili na siya in any order na lang nato na. Basta kay muna ito matakol. Notion of a derivative, the definition, the determination of the derivative by increments, differentiation rules, no? As you can see, there are just 4. Okay, so as of today, I think ato lang i-cover is the first 2, no? This notion of a derivative and the definition. Okay? Kasi, nganong kanaraman doha? Because we will be tackling sample problems. Kasi mag-solve po sample problems. And, okay, so for the next slide, no? Here we are. We have this definition, no? Okay. So, what is a derivative, class? No? What do you think is a derivative? By the way, sa section C, ramang guna ko to, kaya nagtanaw ko sa, actually, wala, ang guna ko to nakununaan sa A and B, kato kay, medyo kay kapoy ko, no? Kay gikat pa ko nagbiyahe. Pero pag abot sa section C, gilantaw ko, ano may ma-answer ang mga estudyante, So, nagsulat-sulat na lang ko dito sa whiteboard, no? Para, at least, nakikibutan dito, study in advance derivative. So, kamo, depende sa inyo kung ibasa mo. Anyways, kung naka-research man lang gani mo, nakatanan-tanaw mo sa Google, sa YouTube, no? At least you have an idea, no? What is a derivative? What do you think is a derivative, class? So, based on the definition, no? A derivative in calculus is the rate of change of a quantity y with respect to another quantity x. Okay, so, basically, this is a rate of change, okay? So unsa may kuan na rate of change, di ba? Kung mobalik ta sa to physics, no? Rate of change, mo ni siya ang symbol, di ba, sa rate of change, kining triangle. Rate of change with respect to the rate with another quantity of x, no? Rate of change of a quantity y with respect to another quantity x. So this is how it looks like, the derivative in calculus, no? So actually, no, it is also termed the differential coefficient of y with respect to x, okay? So differentiation is different, no? Differentiation is different from derivative because it is said here that differentiation is the process of finding the derivative of a function, okay? So this is how it looks like, the derivative in calculus. It is a rate of change again. So what do you think, no? What do you think is the can you think about real life application sa derivative? Kasi based on the definition sa calculus, it is a rate of change. So kung masabtan nimo ang definition itself, a lot of happenings diri sa kalibutan is computed or calculated or is solved through calculus by derivatives. Okay, it is a rate of change. Let me state an example, no? What is a rate of change, no? Siguro to monitor temperature, no? Monitoring temperature changes, 'di ba? There is a change of temperature, especially kung ang atong maging klima diri sa Pinas, no? Ulan, init, kaulan nun, no? Usahay init kaysa udtong dako, pagkahapon kusuking ulan, no? Eventually there will be a temperature change. So how do we get its temperature change, no? How to monitor that is through by derivatives, no? Ana na siya. So there is another what else? Ito pa man. Probably calculating graphs sa businesses in business world, profit and loss, no? Magamit gyapon nato ang derivatives ana. So daghan gid kita gamito nun ana, no? Daghan gid kita pwede magamit even on stock markets, they use derivatives. Siguro kung kitsa na nabay mga kaila diri ga trade crypto mining, I don't know, mining, that's different, cryptocurrency rather, because cryptocurrency is almost similar to stocks, no, ang datingan nila, but it's different, no. So unsa pa man, what do you think, no? Even in getting the siguro panaglinog, no, mga magnitude and intensities, no, mga seismologists may tawag na nila. Okay, ang pag-asa, they use derivatives para makuha ang magnitude and intensity of an earthquake. So those are just some of real life examples why we need to know derivatives, especially that we are engineers, we are an architects. There is always, that's why I always kana bitong ako po ning si tawag gina-remind, no, that the only thing that is constant is change itself. Change is always constant. Permigid magbago. So mingon ta nga mingon ta sa tong uyab nga lahi ra man ka sa una, oy nagbago naman ka karon. Yes, tanan bisag tao magbago gyud, magbago ganing kalibutan, no? Wag forever. Busa, bulagin na siya. Bitter. Anyways, no, that's rate of change. Ginakuha gid siya because change is always constant. Kakabag-o gid permi. Di gina siya mabag-o ang pagbag-o. No? Okay. So much for the real life application, no? Let's proceed with this another definition. The derivative of a function, which is yung function natin, di ba, f of x, is usually represented by this one, d over dx. Okay? So when we talk about derivatives, okay? So could we had derivatives of a function. No, ako lang i-rewrite, no? Which is yung function natin is f of x, right? 'Di ba? Mama na to function. Is usually represented by first, no? D of x. Okay? Derivatives. So kung makakita ka ni d over dx rather, d over dx, this is a derivative of a function. Okay? Derivative of f of x to. Pero we know that f of x are just the same with y. So that's why kanya siya can be also or na nakabutan niya or df of d of x, diba? Dayon or this is also a derivative kanang capital D f of x, that is a derivative. Mabawaan na ninyo, no, differential operator man ni siya tawag ani or f prime of x. So if maka-encounter mo d over dx, no, this is a derivative. df over dx, this is a derivative. Capital D f of x, this is a derivative of f of x. Then f prime of x is also a derivative. Okay? So ayaw mo ka-confuse kung makakita mo ano yung mga nga representation of derivatives, because those are all derivatives. Okay? So mo bitaw ng dy over dx pohon, because kung ato gina siya derivative, no, derivative of y, which is yung y natin can be also f of x, no. So pwede ra po na siya d over dx of f of x Murag ana siya. Okay? So, basically, these are all equal. Okay? Kining upat kabuk makita ninyo. So, consider a curve, no? We will be showing a graph on the next slide. Consider a curve of a function f of x. So, natay curve, no? Nga, ang function niya is f of x, and let the 2 points on it be, the first is x and f of x, and the second is x plus h and f times x plus h, no? Then eventually the slope, no, of the second line through these points is given by this equation. Okay? Alright, so para mas masabtan na to, let's look on the second page. Okay? So anyways, no, this is our notion. This is our notion for our derivative. So the derivative of x, no, or f prime of x is equal to limit as h approaches to 0 of f of x plus h minus f of x over h. Nganong inana man na siya, guys. No, di na kay tama dig-in kayo ana. Kinira gid ang atong importante, no. Kinira atong importante. Di na kay natin dig-in, but there is explanation here based on the graph, no. As you can see, again, based on the last definition, based on the last explanation on the last, on the puro na lang ta last ano, no, sa last page nga akong gibasa, no, or atong gibasa, it is said that if you have curve, which is itong curve is the f of x, di ba? Ay, sorry, it's very bad. If you have this f of x nga curve, this is an f of x, kining curve. If you have a second line, which is this one, no, crosses at this point and at this point, no, mo ni siya yung slope of a second, as you can see, f of x plus h minus f of x over h. So as you can see, mo ni siya, diba? So mo ni siya gitawag nga difference quotient. So again, this is a second. No, this is the slope of a second. While getting naman sa tangent of a line, no, the distance between these points, no, x and x plus h, kasi ito naman mo man itong x, diba? Mo man itong h. Kini, as you can see, diba? This is a tangent. Mo ni siya yung probably dire yung point nga crosses. So mo na din ni atong derivative nga value f prime of x, or the derivative of this function, no, this curve function, is equal to limit as h approaches to 0. As you can see, f of x plus h pa rin minus f of x over h if limit exists. Okay? If limit exists. So, as you can see, no, what's may difference nila? Dire, wala siya nakalimit. Mo lang gid siya ang iyang formula. No, wala siya. It's slope of a second is directly ano siya kanang say tawag gani rise over run, no, mo ni siya ang rise, mo ni ang run, kay mo ba ni h ba ni siya, no, or this one h. Okay, so kini siya, kini is our numerator, mo ni siya. Okay, so this one, as you can see, this is the denominator. Same goes here, no, as you can see, unsa kataas dire, no, mo ni siya, mo ni atong numerator, and this one is our denominator. But this is a use of limits, by the use of limits. So I hope na gets ninyo giunsa siya pag-form aning formula natin. F prime of x, or the derivative of function of x, is equal to limit as h approaches to 0 f of x plus h minus f of x overall, no, over sa tanan over h, no. So I hope kana lang na-gets na ninyo, no, kana lang akong simple nga pag-explain sa inyo, kasi this formula, we will be using this as we will be tackling examples right now. Okay, so we have examples here. First, so ato lang i-rewrite daw. Let's just say, mag-block lang ko ba kaya magsakit sa mata ang red. Have again the formula of our derivative f prime of x is just equal to limit as h approaches to 0 f of x plus h minus f of x over h. Diba? Sakto ko? Alright, ito lang na isulatan para natin basehan. Alright. Okay. So, natay quandary. Natay function. Kasama na itong pangitaan ani. Of course, the derivative. Kasi mo good na ito i-discuss. Alright. So, if ato din kwaon ng f prime of x, we will be getting, of course, the value of f of x plus h. So, how do we do that, no? So, what is the value of f x plus h? What do you think? So, it's just so easy, no? As you can see, the function of x is just equal to 5x minus 4. Substitute only the value of x with x plus h, okay? So, this is how it looks like. Minus 4. Okay, so basically, this is now your value of f of h plus h is equal to 5 times x plus h. X plus h, okay? X plus h minus 4. So, kana lang. More na, inanara siya kasayon, no? Alright? Kasa. I'm a little door open. Para dito mawala sa passing. Kaya basig na ako yung ma-disregard. Alright. So, now, we already have the value of this one. No? Kining h, let's stay put lang na kay eventually ato na i-substitute. Okay? But, again, we already did this one. So, directly substitute, no? In getting the f of x, f prime of x rather, is getting the limit of as h approaches to 0, no? What is our value of f of x plus h? It is 5 times x plus h minus 4 minus yung value ng f of x natin, which is 5x minus 4, right? Over h. Okay? So, actually, no, isa-isahon pa na ito na isulat, no? Ato ta na yung isa-isahon o sulat yung limit. Hopefully, makita rin ninyo. H equals to 0. So, ato lang na yung distribute lang, no? Distribute. So, this becomes 5x plus 5h. Ay, 54 naman na. Muna na akong galistan basta inani. Lugay ko maka-erase. 5h. Okay, that's h. Minus 4. Minus 5x. Kasi distribute natin. This becomes positive 4. So, as you can see, no, over h. Meron tayong makancel. Yung 5x, ito. Then yung 4. So, we will be left with, limit of h, limit as h approaches to 0, we'll be left with 5h over h, right? 5h over h. So, as you can see, you can cancel again the h, alright? So, you will be left with, ako lang equal na rin, no, limit of, I hope naka-follow up lang tanan. Naka-follow lang tanan. Limit as h approaches to 0, this of 5. Alright. So again, no? Going back to our lesson last week. The limit of a constant is just the constant. So therefore, our derivative, no, is basically 5. Or again, our final answer, the f prime of x for this example is just basically 5. Gets ra? Or wala? Gets dapat, no? Para mas makasabot mo, solve tag another problem. Okay, so again, we have another function which is equal to f of x is equal to x squared. So what we're going to do is to find the f prime of x, or the derivative of this function. No? First, what are we going to do? No, find the function of x plus h. Okay, so basically gagawin lang natin tong x plus h squared. No, again, i-substitute lang na siya dire sa x. So this is squared. Okay, now we can now get our f prime. No, f prime of x as f prime of x is equal to limit as h approaches to 0, f of x plus h, though. What is the f of x plus h? It is x plus h, though, squared minus x squared over h. So just simplify, no? What we need to do is just simplify our answer. So as you can see, this is a square of a binomial. We can say that this becomes, if we expand this, x squared plus 2xh plus h squared, alright, minus x squared na po dayon over h. As you can see, we can cancel out the x squared kasi negative dito, positive doon. Now, we are left with 2xh plus h squared over h. But as you can see, no, we need to cancel out the h below, or the denominator h. So pwede ta mo factor out pud h dire sa aton numerator para maka-cancel ta og denominator ng h. Okay? So factor out natin yung h. So mabilin 2x plus h, right? Over h. Para kini both canceled, no? Eventually we are left with 2x plus h. So in this scenario, no, we can now directly substitute the value of h to the variable h here. So ano na siya? Limit 2x plus 0. Basically, our f prime of this function is just 2x. Alright? So yun na, no? Sige, makaingon. Kaingon mga grabe sa this is sir, oy. Kuan makayo. Sige, ingon nga sayon. Sudra ba? No? Sayan ragid siya. Gusto na ko implant sa inyong mga utok. Sayan ragid siya. Kaya mo, sige mong ingog lisod. Bisag ni ingon na gani kog lisod, no? Dili na pa siya pasabot nga lisod. Dikit kayo na. Okay? Right, so inato lang. Our method will be getting its f of x plus h, no? Then just substitute, expand or simplify the fraction before you substitute the 0 to the h. Okay? Kasi yung ginagawa ng karamihan, directly substitute na lang dun sa h. So that's not the proper way in solving derivative. So as the limits, diba? Mo ganitong last time, kuha ta sa to common denominator, i-conjugate para ma-simplify o ba-simplify pa gyud. Okay? Alright. So we have this another example here. F of x is equal to 1 of x. Pero gakalibog bang oning ako pwede i-change sa ako color, guys. I will be changing it to blue. I think blue is good. So we will be getting the f of not yet the prime. The f of x plus h, diba? Of this one. So this becomes 1 over x plus h. Diba? Sakto ba ko? Yes! Sakto gid ko. Alright, so directly pwede na din ta mubuhat sa atong sa atong f prime of x. So basically mo ni siya ang f of x plus h is 1 over x plus h minus yung f of x natin is just 1 over x over h. Oy, napaday tayo limit dire ha. Nalimtan ako limit as h approaches to 0. Okay? Nalimtan na ako sulat. Alright, so dire na lang ta mag-continue. Dabi, yun saan mo na ito ni pag-deal again, diba? Kung inani lang, diretso na dahil lugar din ta, substitute sa itong 0. So again, we will be getting its common denominator para ma-simplify na to, diba? So may common denominator na to, mo na siya nga importante jud kay makasabot mo kay para tuloy-tuloy na dahil ang atong pag-discuss, diba? Natay duha denominator, x plus h and x, alright? So therefore, in this one, the numerator will be multiplied by x of x plus h, no? Over x plus h. Upon simplifying, no? Diretso na ta kay x times x plus h multiplied by the 1 over x plus h. So makancel ng x plus h, pabinlan na ta og x. So therefore yung x natin will become bilang na tag x, okay? X a day rather. So in this one, ang makancel pod x, 1 over x times x plus h. So makancel, may muna na siya x plus h, okay? So our denominator, ayaw lang sa ninyo isumpay ang tanan. Naon lang sa nato. H times x plus h. Alright? So as we can see, we can cancel out our both x because yung isa positive, yung isa naman negative. We are left with what? h. So actually pwede po na ito makancel ang h na cancel na lang po na ito ang h, both h. Okay? So we are now left with what? 1 over Taman. By the way, this is negative, no? This is negative. This becomes negative. Alright. Asa, balik lang ako. Okay, na ako gamay mali. Okay, ang sign convention lang. Okay lang. Alright, so ano mo itong cursor? Alright. So, x minus x plus h. No? So, upon simplifying, this becomes x minus h. Okay? Kasi distribute natin yung negative sign dito, diba? Kula nang neutro kay para di mo masaya na. So, eventually, pwede na ito ni makancel ng 2 ka x, right? So, as the h. Ay, this is napa h dire. So, as the h, okay? So, eventually, upon simplifying, our remaining function is negative 1 over saan naman over x plus h. Okay? Then, pwede na din nato ni substitute. Now, we already have simplified, no? Substitute the value of h to the h, no, which is 0. So, we can say that our f prime of x is just simply negative 1 over x times x, no? X squared, right? X times 0, since 0 naman siya, is just 0. So, therefore, this is now our value of our prime. Now, or the derivative of f of x, which is the 1 over x, is negative 1 over x squared. Okay, so muna na siya, no? Basic kung nakatuon mo ato last topic. Alright, so proceeding with our next example. You have radical. Muna ninyong ganahan, radical. Diba? What to do with radicals? So, application ra gyapon siya sa atong mga nangatun-an, no? Una siyang, it's very important to learn, to remember, no? Again, atong kuhaon is f of x plus h because, again, ako lang i-rewrite dere. F prime of x is just equal to limit as h approaches to 0, f of x plus h, laywas ade, minus f of x over h. Okay, so f of x plus h is equal to square root of x plus h. So in getting the f prime of x is just simply, no, substitute. This becomes square root of x plus h minus f of x natin is square root of x, right? Dayon over h. So, unsa naman din itong buhaton na ni? Based sa itong last atong unsa gani buhaton? Basta last nga mga discussion. Basta natin radicals, we multiplied the numerator and denominator by its conjugate. Conjugate lang. No, i-rewrite lang nako. Over h. So, multiplied by its conjugate. So, unsa may conjugate? X plus h, basically, opposite lang opposite lang ng kita gani opposite nga sign. Okay, x plus h plus x. Alright, so para madali, no, kung naminaw gid mo atong nyagi unya kabalo na mo ni x plus a square root of x plus h multiplied by the square root of x plus h is basically just x plus h lang. Okay? So the second is since plus ug minus naman ni siya, makancel na din tong kuha na to, no? This becomes minus square root of x multiplied by square root of x, which is positive and negative, of course. This becomes negative. It's just x, okay? Over h. Over h. Not over h lang. Not over h, of course. H multiplied by square root of x plus h plus square root of x. Okay, so as you can see, distributing this one, makancel siya. Diba? Negative x plus x is just 0. So, as this 1, no? Duha ka h. So, we are now left with what? No? Limit as h approaches to 0. We are now left with 1 over x plus h plus, that's plus, no? That's plus over square root of f of x. In the sky fall, in the night. Sige, title lang nakakanta ba? Kaka-LSS ko na. Okay. So, right now, you can basically substitute the value of your h with 0. Okay, so, substitute lang natin. Muna din itong remaining formula. Since nakuha naman na ito limit, na-simplify naman na ito, pwede na nato bakuha yung limit. Okay? 1 over square root of x plus square root of x. So, we can also simplify this into square root of x plus square root of x is just equal to 1 to square root of x. Okay, so basically, the f prime of x, or the derivative of function of x, is just equal to 1 over 2 square root of x. Alright, so sayonara ba? Ay, magkatawa na lang ko, no? Magtanaw sa inyo, mag-quiz bitaw, bisag kapoy ko sa akong mga gipangbuhat gikan, pero magkatawa dyan ko. Kamo dyan makapalipay sa ko kay kamo magtala ko nga gaano nang uban. Ano bagilantaw na din sa kubata. Nya hutdong na bagi oras di ra bagid mo pasagid. Sagwa na cancer. Malingaw ko ana no. Don't get me wrong, but I've been a student for a long time then. So I knew the feeling, no? I knew the feeling. Katawa ko sa part na ano bitong parang kailan lang ako ang inanapod ni loading, but as you can see right now, 'di ba? Pero again, I haven't been ano bitaw like inana nga kind nga student all the time kasi kung inana na naka permanente absent minded sorry for the term, but kung inana man lang gid ka absent minded during sa exam no or lutang kay ka o lagi kay ma-answer permi na lang gid kay na digig ka survive kika mo kuman sa imong college bisa pag mo shift kag lain nga kurso kung digig ka mo tuon digig ka kapasar. So again tuon lang yun no, tune-in ninyo ni isolve ninyo by your own kining atong mga examples. Alright, so another example no, which is this is the second of the last no example. 8 over square root of x. Okay, so getting the f of x plus h is basically 8 over square root of x plus h. Okay, so unsa man kuhaon na dahil nato ang f prime of x or the derivative no, by the use of limits directly substitute it no. Di na lang kay ko mag further og explain because I think kapila na po dato gibalik-balik. Minus f of x is just equal to square root of ayan over h. So as you can see, we have radical and we have fraction. So sa kanitong buhaton, first is multiply. Kung magkuha tag limit ane is common denominator. Always gina siya ha, common denominator atong una buhaton. If the sky fall and then I know and then so sa may common denominator na to, it is square root of x plus h multiplied by the square root of x. Okay? Ano siya itong una buhaton. Taas-taas gini, hopefully masigod re. So limit as h approaches to 0. Now simplify. 8 over x plus h multiplied by the square root of x plus h times square root of x. Basically, mabinlan taog 8 square root of x. Right? And dire naman, sa isa, 8 over square root of x multiplied by square root of x plus h times square root of x. Mabinlan taog square root of x plus h. Okay? Over h square root of x plus h multiplied by square root of x. Okay. So upon simplifying pagid no, direta no, taas tagamay kay ay taas ra ba ni. As you can see, kung ato pagida siya i-simplify no, sa unsa naman po dato buhaton ani kini siya i-multiply nato ni siya by its conjugate, no? So may conjugate niya, diri na lang ako isulat ha. So may conjugate ani niya. Basically, ana lang, i-positive lang nimo ni siya. Okay? So di na kay ko mag-further o discuss ana kay conjugate, gi-discuss na nato na sa atong last na topic. So 8 square root of x multiplied by 8 square root of x is basically 64x. Kasi square root of x multiplied by square root of x is just x. Dito naman 64x plus h. Okay? And eventually h plus the square root of x plus h, then square root of x. So simplify pagid dato no. Unending simplify. So, ako lagi nang itagsa-tagsa. So, ato ni i-distribute the negative 64 diri, no? No? Ang mahitabo is negative 64x minus 64h, right? So, pwede na ito makancel atong h. Diba? Pwede na ito makancel atong h. This one, makancel na ito dire. Eh, kini siya, negative 64 will be cancelled by the positive 64x, no? Negative 64x will be cancelled with 64x. And mabilin lang tag 64, negative 64h, which we could also cancel the h with the denominator h. So again, by just simply simplifying the whole equation, mabinlan tag negative 64 over square root of x plus h times square root of x. Okay. In this part, no? Ala! I forgot to multiply this one. Okay. Balik ta dire. So, multiply siya. Nakalimot ko multiply aning both, no? So, napagid ata din siya 8 square root of x. Okay. I forgot. Alright, ka. Kining conjugate, no? Nakalimot ko. Alright. Nagdali naman good ko. X plus h. So, ana pagidin na siya, no? 8 square root of x plus 8 square root of x plus h. Okay? So, karon ang mabilin sa tuwa, this is x plus h, no? I-substitute na din nato atong value sa h, okay? What is the value of our h? What is the value of our h? 0, right? So, by simplifying, dili na sad ta sa ubos. Negative 64 over square root of x plus 0 times square root of x times 8x plus 8 x plus 0. So, kung ato pag ini-simplify, no? I-simplify, napatay limit 3 ha, h. Wala na ni siya, kaya i-substitute naman din nato atong value of zeros, no? Value of h rather. So, kung ato na-simplify, diba, ma-zero naman ni siya. Sorry guys, sorry. So sorry. Okay? Square root of x multiplied by square root of x will become just x, no? X. Then kini, this becomes 8 square root of x plus 8 square root of x will become 16 square root of x. Okay? So, pwede pagid nato ni ma-simplify. 64 divided by 16. Dire na lang natin isulat. 64 divided by 16 is 4. So, muna siya, negative 4 x times or square root of x. Okay? So, muna na niya itong final answer. F prime of x is just equal to negative 4 x square root of x. Alright. So, tsada-tsada na, no? Kaya taas-taas na ito solusyon. Mungkin ang kabalo ko nga muna inyong gihulat. Nga, uy, Lord, unta na nagit may mga example nga kanang tag-as o solusyon. Muna gid inyong gihulat. Taas gid siya nga solusyon. Haha. Dili pa kay na siya mao gani, no? Daghan kay ikataasa na maabot og tag isa ka bond paper ang atong isa ka problem, no? Anyways, that would be the answer of that would be the derivative of our function 8 over square root of x, okay? Which is negative 4 over x multiplied by square root of x, okay? For our last example, Last na gyud. Keep. O, pila na taka oras. Okay, so 1 hour na gyud. After ta isa ka oras, no? Grabe. Pero pa ta nakaman. Pause. Okay? So we have this last example, no? F of x is equal to x squared minus 5x plus 9. Hello, polynomial na, quadratic na. Sir, lisod, sir. No, ana lagi ko nga wala lagi lisod. So ato na ni testingan gyapon para ma-realize niyo unsa ni siya ka sayon. Okay? f of x plus h f of x plus h is just equal to x plus h squared minus 5 times x plus h minus 9. So, pwede pa na, ato na lang po din siyang kuanong daan, no? Mas maayo nga ato na lang i-expand daan. This becomes x squared plus 2xh plus h squared, okay? Minus, no? 5x minus 5h minus 9. Then eventually, pa tayo makancel. Okay? Naday tayo makancel. Wala pa. So, muna na niya itong f of x plus h pa madita. Lul. Okay, so in getting the f prime of x, again, it is the limit as h approaches to 0 of f of x plus h. So, muna itong f of x plus h. So, ito na lang i-diretso. X squared plus 2xh plus h squared minus 5x minus 5h minus 9 minus yung f of x natin is just x squared minus 5x plus 9. Okay? Okay. Plus man din dili siya minus. Plus na siya, ha? Okay, plus na siya. Yung 9 natin. Alright. Ako po yung gikapoy sa kong sod. Minsan na mo. Pero lingaw na siya. Kapoy nga lingaw ba? Muna siya nakatsada sa math kit. If you really love mathematics, even if kapoy na, manghawin ni mong kamot sa pagsod, malingaw gyapon ka. Sagwa kayo ng sabtan. Ragin na siyang math. Okay, so basically, ato nang i-distribute yung negative sign sa negative. Mahimo siya negative x squared. This becomes positive 5x, no? Plus 9. Napadini siya. Ato pa din over h. Grabe kataas. So, kung ato i-distribute, makancel na din yung x squared na to. Makancel na to ni. Makancel na to ni. Okay ni. Right? So, we are now left with 2xh plus h squared minus 5h over h. Dayon, unsa naman itong buhaton? Simple. No? Ato i-eliminate yung denominator na to nga h. Kaya dili man pwede nga ato lang ng diretsyon og substitute kay ma-zero man ato denominator. Again, dili man nato kay dili atong goal is dili ma zero ato denominator. Okay? So, factor out the h since common man sa ani nga polynomial. So, h multiplied by 2x plus h minus 5, diba? Over h. So, basically, makancel yung duha natin ka h. We are now left with limit as h approaches to 0, 2x plus h minus 5. Dayon, substitute the h, no? This becomes 0. This becomes 2x plus 5. So, again, yung final answer natin, f prime of x, or the derivative of x squared minus 5x plus 9 is just 2x plus 5. Wow! Masayon lagi na, sir! Yes, masayon gid siya basta walay radical o pili siya fraction. Kasi dali ra kayo. Wala na tong goal. I hope nasabtan ninyo, no? Agats ninyo. And I would highly advise that you will try to solve it on your own para mas magets ninyo. Okay, so much for that, no? That would be all our all our examples for these derivatives, but we're not yet done. I will be discussing this derivative formulas in calculus, no? So actually there are a lot of derivative formulas, but we will be only discussing this one of the most useful, no, all throughout, not just on the differential, but so as the differential calculus, but also as you will be tackling differential equations, no? Okay, so as you can see, we have power rule, no? First, the power rule. So what does it says here, no, based on the equation given? D over dx, no, d over dx of x to the power of n is just equal to n multiplied by the x n minus 1. So basically, unsa may pasabot ani, no? Unsa may gipasabot ani? Kining power rule, no, this is very important kasi mo ni siya ang probably pinakagamit nga rule or derivative formula sa calculus. Kasi katong atong kuan ganina, katong atong pag-solve sa derivative f prime of x is we are getting the derivative by the use of limits, okay? By the use of limits. But this one, this power rule, diretso na siya. So let's just say, no, this is x and x to the power of n. We have our second example ganina, which is our f of x is just equal to what? X squared, right? So what is the derivative of that? Again, f prime of x is just equal to d over dx, right? So d over dx of x squared, so is just equal to n, which is our n, no? Identifying the n here, n is just equal to 2, right? So n is 2 multiplied by the x, and what is the value of our n again? 2 minus 1. So basically, eto 2 to the power 2x. Alright? So this is the power rule. So inanaraman din siya kasayo, no? Sir, nanong taas pa man kayo to? So syempre, i-explain ako by limits kay dira magitgikan ang tanan. Dira magitgikan ang tanan. Bitaw, no? This is just again a formula na siya. Pero kung asa siya gikan through limits, no? Gikuha siya. So para mapadali inyong kinabuhi mo na din siya power all throughout. But if siguro I don't know sa inyong mga mabuti nga instructor kung magpa-quiz sila about derivatives, if maingon gid sila nga solve the derivative of this one by the use of limits, no, then you have to do or you have to perform those methods. But if wala siya gingon, then you can just simply use this power rule, okay? So tanaw na to balik ka. Tanawa ma o pila answer sa x, tara, x squared, pila answer nara 2x, diba? 2x 2x, diba? Atong answer. Okay, so goods kayo. Alright, so I hope na get sa ninyo power rule. Alright, so asa naman to ba? So just in case daw mas paayo siguro ato ikuan ato dala po bag-solve nga naman eh, mag-solve na lang po tag katong last ato nga gipang answeran. Kato daw ang first example, no? Dire lang ako i-solve sa kilid kay mubo raman. Our first example ganina was f of x is equal to 5x minus 4. And in this power rule, no, we have also constant rule. Actually, wala na ako nabutang dire. We have constant rule, no? Constant rule which state that the derivative of a constant is basically 0. So k is constant. So any derivative of any constant number, no, or just 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 1 million, derivative of a 1 million is just equal to 0. Okay? So by getting getting the derivative of this f of x, no? So ato lang siyang i-distribute do. D over dx or f prime, parehara na siya, no? Ako lang na i-rewrite otro kay para di mo malibog. 5x minus 4 just equal to what? Isa-isahon na to, no? Kini siya, 5x will be solved by the power rule, okay? So what is our n here? It's just basically 1. 1 times 5 times x, 1 minus 1, no? Minus, again, constant rule, d over dx, no, of k is equal to 0. So basically, this is just 0. So simplifying this one, this becomes 5. X to the power of 0 is basically 1, no? So our answer for this is, by the power rule, it is just 5. So if inyo nang i-check ko niya, i-check na lang ninyo, kapoy na, o balik-balik, no? O tanaw sa last slide, mora na siya, okay? Parehara gid sila. So how about the third example? F of x is equal to 1 over x, okay? 1 over x. So ato lang ni i-simplify. Pwede na to ni i-rewrite ning 1 over x as x to the power of negative 1 half. Ay, negative 1 half. Negative 1 rather. Negative 1 half naman nun. It's not negative 1 half because it's not radical. Negative x to the power of negative 1. So nga naman na, sir, nga nung negative 1? Na, you have to know your laws of exponent, no? Algebra. Okay? So, f prime of x or d over dx of x minus 1, then you can just simply perform this power rule. No? Multiply the value of n, no? X to the power of negative 1 minus 1. So, this becomes negative x to the power of negative 2. Or again, we can just simply write as negative 1 over x squared. So, tanawa ninyo si answer ato, di ba? Mura gid siya. Ha? How about sa atong fourth example? F of x is just equal to square root of x. Kini noon. Now, we can just rewrite this one to x to the power of 1 half. So, yung radical natin, 1 half na siya. Okay? So, f prime of x is just equal to d over dx, no? Of square root of x. Or just x to the power of 1 half na lang natin kasi ato naman i-rewrite para ma-perform na to ang power rule. I know, probably some of you already know this technique on deriving. Mas maayo, no? So, 1 half x, 1 half minus 1. So, pila man na. So, mahimo siyang 1 half over or times x minus 1 half. Okay? So, basically, ato pag na siyang ikuan, mahimo na siyang 1 over 2 times x to the power of 1 half. Then, lastly, mahimo na siyang 1 over 2 square root of x. So, tanawa! Para makaingon mo, sakto ba o mali? No? So, sakto na siya. Alright, so our fifth example was, ano to? F of x equal to 8 over square root of x. So, kung unsa to itong ipangbuhat mo, gyapon na itong buhaton. No? F prime of x or d over dx of 8 square root of x, no? O pwede na ito ni ma-rewrite, no? I-rewrite tani as 8 multiplied by x to the power of negative 1 half. Para mas kuhan sa inyo, ha? Para mas convenient sa inyo, ha? Maka-perform mo power rule. So, d over dx of 8x to the power of negative 1 half. Okay? So, basically, 8 multiplied by 1 half, no, negative 1 half rather, times x minus x to the power of 1 half minus 1. So upon simplifying, this becomes negative 4. As you can see, negative 1 half minus 1, this becomes x to the power of negative 3 halves. So pwede pagyapon nato na ma-simplify into this one, x to the power of 3 halves. So para kini siya, x to the power of 3 halves is basically equal to x to the power of 1 multiplied by x to the power of 1 half. Ngano man na, no loss of exponent na po, kindly review na lang. Okay? So mo din nang maka og 4x square root of x. So tanawa unsay answer para makuan gid mo, makonvince gid mo na mora gid siya, no? Power rule. Nakuha ra nato tanan derivative by using of power rule, no? So daghan pa kay mga rules, guys. There's a lot of rules. Ato yung mga product rule, quotient rule, no? Na siya kailangan sa ma-discuss. Importante kaya na siya. Alright, so kato din sa last, no? Ang last example, di na lang nako to ikuan i-solve by power rule. I hope nga kamo na lang mo solve ato. So we also have derivatives of logarithmic or exponential, no? We have here exponential and exponential functions. So if you encounter d or the derivative of ln x, no? ln of x, okay? So it's just 1 over x, okay? So diretso na siya. Unsay derivative sa ln of x is just 1 over x. So given ano siya, guys, ha? So d of x sa log, no? Sa log base of a, no? Base of ax, no? Base sa a x natin just equal to 1 over x multiplied by the ln of a, no? So a natin, value natin dito. Okay, so dito naman yung exponential natin, derivative or d over dx. So again, let's just read this one as derivative, okay? Derivative of e to the power of x is basically just the same, no? E to the power of x. So muna siya, exponent, no? Derivative of an exponent is just exponent again. So as you can see, if the derivative of a to the power of x, no? May exponent tayo. A x multiplied by the ln a. Okay, so just remember those things, no? And we also have derivatives for trigonometric functions. So we're not gonna be discussing each and every one. How it did get nalagyan na, no? Marong grammar na. Naunsa ni siya pagkuha, no? So basically given na siya, but during siguro sa mga exam probably dili gid siya ihatag. No, dili ni siya ihatag. You have to really memorize trigonometric identities, no, of the derivatives. Kung natay nadumduman, no, nga sine cosine is equal tangent, no, sine over cosine. So we also have to know the trigonometric trigonometric identities of derivatives, no? If you have the derivative of sine x, basically it's just equal to cosine x. So kung cosine x naman yung i-derive natin, mahimo siyang negative sine x. So dili siya pareha, ha. You have to take note of this. Then if derivative of tan x, it becomes secant squared x. Then if derivative of cotangent x, negative cosecant squared x. So, kailangan dyan na ninyo bantayan. Derivative naman sa secant natin is equal to secant x multiplied by tan x. Then, lastly, yung derivative ng cosecant natin or cos. Huwag mo na siya na outro. Sa if the sky fall and in the no? Cosecant x is equal cosecant x is equal to negative cosecant multiplied negative cosecant x multiplied by the cotangent x. Okay? So, kini naman, so I haven't ano ko nasulat, no? This is actually inverse, okay? Inverse trigonometric functions. Okay? Derivatives of the inverse trigonometric functions. So, if you are given derivative of sine, inverse sine x, okay? So, you can see this is the inverse, naman na itong ano. The inverse sine x, it's basically equal to 1 over square root of 1 minus x squared. So, inverse, derivative of the inverse cosine x, okay? Negative 1 over square root of 1 minus x squared. Parehara sila, pero ang nag-differ lang sila sa sign convention. Sa derivative naman ng inverse of tan x, okay, is just equal to 1 over 1 plus x squared. The derivative of our inverse cosecant x is just equal to negative 1 over absolute value of x multiplied by the square root of x squared minus 1. So, parehara sila actually sa derivative sa inverse of a secant x, no? But, yung sign convention is positive. 1 over absolute value of x multiplied by the square root of x squared minus 1. Then, lastly, no, cotangent, no? Derivative of the inverse cotangent x is just equal to parehara ani, no? It's just negative 1 over x squared, no? Negative 1 over x squared. So, basically, no, kini siya ng mga given na ni siya if you'll be encountering derivative of sine sine x, no? Matic na siya, cosine x na siya. If ipakuha sa inyo is derivative of inverse tangent, no? Inverse tan x, no? It's basically equal to 1 over 1 plus x squared. Okay? Diretso na siya. Muna na siyang given. Actually, there are still a lot, no? There's still a lot of identities, no? Sa calculus that are given already. But, muna na siya mga basic and kinda common na ginagamit. So, it's your job, I think, if dili na i-discuss sa inyong kung ako po naman padayon, dili na ako ihatag ang tanan. No? Kay masakitan na gyapon ka. Sure! Anyway, no, dili na ko ihatag ang tanan kay dili mo po siya inanak sa gamit ang tanan, no? Mas maayo nga at least kini man lang madumduman ug nga memorize ninyo somehow, no, nga identities para sa inyong mga exam makuha ra ninyo. Right? So, I think that would be all. Thank you. That would be all for our topic for this night. I hope you will be subscribing. Subscribing. Joke lang. I hope you will unsubscribe me, no? Gusto ko mabalik ng 0 kay para dili ko ninyo maingnan nga nagkuanra ko. Anyways, we've reached 1 hour and 23 minutes. I will just announce on the GC na dili na lang i-watch ang first 10 minutes, no? Para di na mo malangay kung di mo gusto mga yaw-yaw. Pero such like this, no? Gusto mo kung mag-yaw-yaw. Anyways, I wish you good luck throughout the SEM. I hope nga makapasar mong tanan. I hope go on gid mo maka-move forward gid mo sa inyong pagiging architect student or mahimo po mga architect. I am really looking forward for you both, for you guys, no, for everybody of you. So pa, dili man gyud kay medyo sentimental lang jud ko. Dili nang gid unta gid ko gusto man na matiwalag aning part-time instructor, but sad to say, again and again I was required, kind of forced. Pero wala akong magawa eh. I made a choice na i-give up na ko akong part-time. Mag-construction ko balik. So, that's all on me. No? I wish you guys the best throughout the SEM. And hopefully, magkita-kita ratapuhon if ever mabalik ko sa pagiging part-time instructor. No? God bless everyone. Goodbye.